Tervetuloa, Rauta. Wait a second. This is no Finnish or Estonian review, even though I'm from Finland, and Estonia has kind of a similarities with the language. Now, wait a second. It must be because this name of the album by a band called Pagansarv is actually very, very Finnish sounding. It says Kaarnakarva, which in Finnish means bog hair. Now, I tried to use Google Translate to get a different result, like maybe there's some translation error, lost in translation somehow, because sometimes Estonian words sound very, very Finnish, but have quite a different meaning. So I was figuring out, okay, maybe this is one of those things, because bark hair sounds kind of a goofy, doesn't even make sense, unless you're diving for the deep end of, I don't know, fantasy literature or whatever. But it seems so that Google is backing me up. This is bark hair. Now, also what is worth mentioning is this name of the band, Pagansarv. Pagan means obviously, well, pagan, heathen, whatever, which is pakana, very much taken from the same word in Finnish. And sarv means like horn, like, you know, rhinoceros horn or whatever. So, pagan horn with bark hair. There's something that makes this sound rather goofy, but make no mistake, the music itself isn't goofy, nor is, in my opinion, this rather nature-oriented or nature-driven photo. But some people might feel like, okay guys, there's a tree that fell over, so why are you doing your Slavic squats there? And these guys come back. No, we have torches. Don't screw with us or we'll burn your house down. Okay, jokes aside, this one is a rather new band from Estonia. And it's kind of adding another edition, another chapter to Estonian black metal heritage. I mean, after all, Estonia is not a newcomer or new country when it comes to making black metal, epic style, or more like pagan stuff, which this totally sounds like. But it's not also one of those so-called leading countries when we're talking about pagan metal or black metal. I mean, compared to Nordic countries, Estonia doesn't have too many bands operating that genre, but yeah, it's active nevertheless. Now here is Pagansarv's Metal Archives site. So as you can see, this is a very, very new band. At least what the info is given here, it means like, okay, this band is 2021 and already out with a single and this full-length album. Now I'll get this very, very fresh, only a couple of days after the release date, which was early June. However, my June calendar was already pretty full when I got it, so here you have you out in July, even though I'm filming this in June. That tells you a lot about these cues and, you know, vacation and all that are screwing around. Now, if we take a look at this track list, it might sound very, very weird. I mean, these track names don't really resonate in English, and even so, even with Finnish, except for the title track, they're sounding very, very weird. Ussimurki. What the hell is that? Or Surnute Mars. Mars may be referring to March. I mean, people marching, or maybe could be talking about the month. The point here is, all these are very, very Estonian things, so it kind of gets you to this Estonian mindset in a way. I mean, if you have heard band like Lloyd's, for example, you kind of have this, what you would refer as to Baltic mindset when it comes to feeling it. So it's a little bit different compared to so many bands coming from, you know, Nordic countries, especially Finland, Norway, and Sweden, and, you know, not to mention places like Denmark and Iceland. So there's a little bit different twist, not exactly like Polish, not exactly like Russia, but something that is a little bit different versus Nordic things. And I think that's a totally good thing. Now, apart from that somewhat Baltic pagan feeling, this is purely black metal. Not maybe in the sense of satanic and all, but in the pagan sense. And this runs for merely 31 minutes. And if you remove instrumental outro and intro from that, well, it's less than that, obviously. So it's quite quick in and out, and that's it. Now, for people who are not too happy about kind of a monotone and repetition and all that stuff are gonna welcome this factor. I mean, it's kind of like MCD plus in a way, so it doesn't get you bored, even though the music within isn't too, how to say, diverse in nature. I mean, it's pretty much kind of a fast tempo-ish, energetic, right to the point kind of black metal, which are kind of made into the point here, rather short songwriting. I mean, there is a song which goes more than 5 minutes, but all in all, it's pretty much like 3 to 4 minutes mostly. And that is kind of like good thing, because I mean, when you have a certain kind of rather simple gear riffs and you keep this fast energetic pounding going on, it might get you bored down after a while. But 30 minutes in, boom, and now it's like, okay, that was refreshing, now do something else. And then maybe later on you come back, because you kind of feel like, hey, I only gave it like 30 minutes of my time, because I mean, it's quite good, but not great. Now, obviously, given that this is a first album, it's kind of a typical thing to happen, especially when a band doesn't have lots of demos out. They're more likely putting their very first ideas into this album and then spilling it out, ready to release it, and just wait for people to come back with, feedback and all. And maybe later on, maybe for the second or third album, the band is going to step up, fix those little mistakes, if you will, and make a better album. But for a first album, I think this is pretty cool. And even though it's not exactly the most innovative, it's not the most original one out there, it's very listenable. There's nothing wrong with the production nor vocals or songwriting in general. Maybe a hint of that metallic parts. I mean, just a little bit of that maybe in the songwriting and vocals, but I mean, that's only kind of as a flavor thing, and maybe it's just my head which is just thinking these ideas. Maybe you don't feel like that at all, I don't know. Anyway, I would say give this a fair chance. It's a pretty good release, even though it's not mind-blowing or best of the best this summer, but definitely worth giving a shot. So Pagansarv Bach Hair is right there for you. Give it a go, and if you like it, go buy it. Thanks, and see you soon. Bye bye.